You action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here, and welcome to another TNI news video. And today we're going to be recapping the news from the previous week ending on August 10th. And we've got a lot to go over, so let's jump right into it.
I'd like to keep this expedition from falling through the ice.
Gotcha, Flint.
Oh, and no side trips to sell refrigerators to Eskimos.
So the big news on the G.I. Joe front this past week was that the Haslab Snowcat campaign finally reached its minimum funding goal of 8,000 backers, which means anyone who decides to back that campaign, and as I'm filming this, you still have just a little bit over 4 days to make that decision. But the Snowcat itself, along with the Frostbite classified figure, will be moving into production. Now, it still remains to be seen whether any of the stretch goals for this campaign will be unlocked. As I'm filming this, we are sitting at 8,497 backers. The first stretch goal would be unlocked if this campaign reaches 10,000 backers, and that's for the Lady J figure in the Arctic gear. And I feel pretty confident that that one will get included. These campaigns always get a sizable boost. That's less than 2,000 backers needed to include the Lady J figure. So I feel like that one, again, has a pretty good shot at getting included. The other two, the Bivouac, the campsite at the 12,000 backers, and then the Flint with the Arctic gear at 14,000 backers, those might be a little more iffy. If I was a betting man, I would say at least stretch goal number 2 will probably also be included. And then stretch goal number 3 is kind of a crapshoot at this point. These campaigns can get very large boosts on the last day, literally. So I certainly think it's well within the possibility of all 3 stretch goals getting included. But at the very least, I would say Lady J is a pretty sure thing. And then the stretch goal number 2, I would still rate that as a fairly strong possibility of being included. And Flynn is probably the one I'm most unsure about. But as I say, we've got just over 4 days to go on this campaign. So next time we talk about this, this coming week, we will probably know that answer for sure.
And knowing is half the battle. G.I. Joe!
And while we're on the subject of Haslabs, just a quick update on the Star Wars Vintage Collection one for the Gunship, which launched during San Diego Comic-Con. That one, as I'm filming this, has just over 29 days to go. It has not reached its minimum funding goal. It's sitting at 3,151 backers, so it has finally surpassed 3,000 backers, but not even halfway, not even yet to the halfway point. Now, this one still has a fair amount of time, about a month to go, so there's still plenty of time for this one to be backed, but it is moving very slowly, as I've said before. This one I would be much more concerned about actually reaching its funding goal. Again, we will see a boost towards the end, but we'll see if we even get halfway there before we start entering that final week. I think the biggest drawback to this one is, as we've talked about, the fact that we've already gotten gunships before, even though this one is bigger. But the other thing is the price. While it is bigger and has some more stuff to it than the previous gunships for the Vintage Collection line, this one is going to cost you $450. So I'm a little less sure about this one. The Snowcat, I felt pretty confident all along it would at least reach its minimum funding goal. But this one, while I certainly by no means am saying it's impossible to be funded, I am saying it is much less likely based on the speed in which it's gaining new backers. Now, keeping it with Star Wars news, we have some images that have surfaced online. I'm not sure the original source of these images. These images appear to be taken at some warehouse, but it shows off the packaging for the new upcoming Ultimate Collector Death Star playset from Lego. So Lego's done a Death Star playset before, a pretty elaborate one, but this one is the most elaborate that we've seen. It is going, based on reports, it's going to cost $1,000. It has 9,000, over 9,000 pieces, 9,023 pieces to it, and it's supposed to be out in October. Now, I will say, looking at this, I personally am not much into Lego, so I wouldn't get something like this. But when I look at this, I feel like I really wish Hasbro would do something similar to this and a similar design for a vintage collection Death Star playset.
Don't be too proud of this technological terror you've constructed. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant next to the power of the Force.
Yes, it would be expensive. If this Lego one is $1,000, a vintage collection one would probably be maybe even more than that. But I think it would be worth it. I think it would fund even at a higher price. I think it would be much more popular than something like a Republic Gunship. I don't know why Hasbro is so resistant to doing a Death Star playset. It seems like the number one choice for something like a Haslab. And it's something that Hasbro is not, we have not really gotten a Death Star playset since the original Kenner line. At least not one worth speaking of. We've gotten a couple little diorama sets and stuff, but never really had a Death Star playset since the original Kenner one. And so I feel like that is long overdue from Hasbro. And again, it just every year we get these Haslabs and it's not a Death Star. I'm totally amazed by that. And then when I see something like this new Lego set, which again, yes, very expensive, but I think there are plenty of Star Wars fans out there who would be willing to spend the money and would find the space. I mean, space would be another issue, but I think they would find the space for something like this, since Hasbro, again, has never given us a modern Death Star playset since they took over the line from Kenner. For you Marvel Legend fans, we've got a couple of pre-orders coming this week. The first one will be on Tuesday. These will be reissues, so not technically new, but if you missed out on these figures the first time, they seem to be going for fairly hefty prices on the secondary market. But Ghost Rider, the retro card back Ghost Rider, and the retro card back Doctor Doom figures should be going up for pre-order again this coming Tuesday, which is August 12th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time. These should be available at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. I believe Amazon will have these as well. So if you missed out on these figures before, it looks like you are going to get another shot at them. And then the other item that is going up for Marvel Legends for pre-order this week is that first X-Men 97 2-pack that they announced during San Diego Comic-Con. This will be offered as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. This will be going up on the 14th, so this will be up on Thursday, again at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, though I believe that will be for premium members only, and then 2 p.m. Eastern Time for everyone else. I don't think this is going to sell out instantly. I won't say that for sure. Rogue figures are generally very popular. Some people have noticed that the Gambit figure seems to be using pieces from their NBA basketball player line. We'll see how this one goes, but again, this will be going up for pre-order this coming Thursday as a Hasbro Pulse exclusive. And again, should be live for premium members at 1 p.m. and everyone else at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. And the cost of the 2-pack is going to be $49.99. All right, now let's jump into some McFarlane news. So this past week, we had new pre-orders for the first wave of Mortal Kombat Classic figures.
It has begun!
These are 7-inch scale figures like the previous Mortal Kombat figures that McFarlane Toys did. However, these are based on the original arcade game, not the newer games. The first wave of single-release figures included Sub-Zero, Scorpion, Liu Kang, and Katana, which was a red platinum figure. Now, I can tell you that some places sold out on these. The Sub-Zero, Liu Kang, and Scorpion sold out on Amazon. Entertainment Earth, I believe, sold out as well, but you can still get these at Big Bad Toy Store. You can also get them, at least, for some reason, Walmart didn't put up Scorpion, but they did have Liu Kang and Sub-Zero. Walmart also has, right now at least, the first 2-pack. They're the only major retailer to carry the first 2-pack, which includes the Sub-Zero figure along with the second female Melina in the series. So the Sub-Zero is a little bit different from the single release. You got the frozen lower arm pieces. You get more accessories with these figures in the 2-pack. You get the backdrop and everything. Now the 2-pack on Walmart costs $70. I believe it's also available in the McFarlane toy store. But again, as far as the only major retailer that's carrying the 2-pack right now, it wasn't originally listed as like a gold label exclusive, but for now at least, Walmart is the only place offering that. But it is still available. It has not sold out, so that 2-pack is not sold out. And then the red platinum katana figure, which is a single release, but again, it's a red platinum figure. Right now, you can get that on GameStop. They might as well call this a GameStop exclusive. Entertainment Earth had a case, but it sold out in like 2 minutes where you would be guaranteed to get the katana. But GameStop is the only online retailer right now that has this figure available. Now imagine the reason why they're not really calling Katana an exclusive is because when physical stores like Walmart and Target get these on shelf, you will probably see Katana there. You won't be able to order it online, but again, when they start hitting physical stores, you'll probably see Katana at places like Walmart and Target, GameStop as well, I'm sure. But as for online, if you want to get the Katana figure, GameStop is the place to go for it. And again, it has not sold out. It actually, when it originally went up, it quickly sold out, but then like a few hours later, GameStop put it back up and it's been available ever since. So essentially all of these figures, while some of them did sell out at some places, are still fairly readily available if you want to add these to your collection. And again, the 2-pack is $70 and the single releases are $30 each. Now for this coming week, we have another McFarlane pre-order. It will be for the 2022, the Batman movie Batmobile. So the muscle car will be going up for pre-order as a McFarlane store exclusive, though you may also, for those of you in Canada, I wouldn't be surprised if this shows up either in Amazon Canada or EB Games or both. But here in the United States, it is being offered as a McFarlane store exclusive. It will be going up on August 13th, which is a Wednesday at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. I believe the price of this is going to be $99. That was the price that was thrown out during San Diego Comic-Con, so I won't swear to it, but I think that's what this is going to cost. A figure is not included with this vehicle, so you will have to buy your Batman figure separately. But as I said, as far as online pre-orders, it is a McFarlane store exclusive going up this coming week, Wednesday the 13th at 12 p.m. Eastern Time. Switching gears to NECA, we've got a new wave of Ben Cooper figures that has been revealed. So this is wave 10, and it features the kids dressed up in Kiss costumes. So this really has like become NECA's almost number 2 line behind Turtles. They seem to be cranking out these waves of figures left and right. But again, if you're into the Ben Cooper stuff, we have a look at Wave 10. These have not yet gone up for pre-order, but likely will be going up fairly soon. I'm going to say probably sometime this month or at the latest early next month. If you're a Vincent Price fan, we've got a black and white version of their Ultimate figure that went up for pre-order last week. You can get this figure at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. Again, it's based on the classic horror actor Vincent Price. And the cost of this figure is about $40. If you missed it the first time, we've got a reissue of the Terminator T-800 Arnold Schwarzenegger Technor Ultimate figure that was released several years ago.
I'll be back.
But it went up for pre-order. The reissue went up for pre-order. Again, available at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth, and the price of that one is also about $40. Jumping back into the world of DC, Hot Toys has put up for pre-order a new comic book-based Joker figure. This is a 1/6 scale or 12-inch figure. It is based on the Killing Joke storyline. So this figure went up for pre-order. You can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store. The cost of it is $290. It's supposed to be out in late 2026. So like with most of these Hot Toy pre-orders, you've got a ways to go before it actually sees release. But it's going to come with 2 alternate head sculpts, multiple pairs of hands. You're going to get the purple colored coat, a purple colored jacket, a yellow waistcoat, a black shirt, a green colored ribbon, a black belt, a pair of purple pants, a pair of black shoes, a pistol with the click white flag that you can put in it, a knife, the camera, of course, to recreate the classic cover, a cane, a Joker playing card, and the Batman Killing Joke comic cover art backdrop, and a figure stand, of course, like you always get with Hot Toys. So again, Hot Toys has been doing more comic book based figures for DC and Marvel here recently, not just the movie stuff anymore. And this figure, as I said, is available for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store. Spin Master has revealed a new retro item, this time for Batman. They've been doing a number of Superman and retro items from the movies with classic toy packaging. So this one is based on the 1990-ish Kenner Batmobile from the 89 Batman movie. So, they did a 89 Batman Batmobile for the Flash movie several years ago. But I don't know if it's the exact same vehicle, but very similar. Of course, in the Flash movie, it was technically the same vehicle anyway. You do have the machine guns that you can put on the top of the car. It does include an 89 Batman figure, but probably the coolest thing about this is the packaging. It's featured in that classic Kenner-esque packaging. So this is available for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth, and the cost of this one is $30.
Get those wonderful toys.
At the reveal of this new Batmobile, I think it's worth mentioning that we might be seeing some single card releases, again in keeping with like those retro Superman movie figures that are hitting Target stores now, but we might see 89 Batman, 89 Joker. How much of a likeness that figure would have to Jack Nicholson, I don't know. But then also figures from Batman Returns, another Batman, Penguin, and Catwoman. That's based on leaked listings that had shown up online at the end of last year, which also included a lot of those Superman retro figures before that was actually officially confirmed. So, I won't say 100%, but it's possible we might see some more DC movie retro figures from Spin Master for 89 Batman and then the sequel Batman Returns. Now, speaking of retro, Playmates Toys has a new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle Remastered box set that's available at Target, and as I'm filming this, it's currently available on Target's website. So this box set features the 4 turtles, Shredder, and Splinter, and the cost of this set is $54.99. Again, I believe this is pretty much a Target exclusive. It has been showing up at physical Target stores, and now it's available online. This past week, for you Masters of the Universe fans, we had 3 new Masterverse pre-orders. Well, actually 2, because I believe the Hordak figure had already been available, at least like on Walmart during Walmart Collector Con. But joining Hordak, now available pretty much everywhere that carries Masterverse, are
the evil Mr. Cobra Khan has you under my power.
Are the new Eternia version of Tila and Cobra Khan. So Amazon had listed these figures several months ago. Actually had them available for purchase. They didn't have images at the time, but for a brief time you could actually buy them on Amazon. They're now back with the images. You can also get them at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. But if you're into the Masterverse stuff, I definitely am picking up Cobra Khan. I'm probably going to pass on the Hordak because I like the previous Hordak they did, and I'm undecided on the Tila figure. But again, definitely for me, I am going to be adding the Cobra Khan to my collection. And keeping it with Masters of the Universe, we also had an update on Mattel's crowdsourcing campaign for that Masters of the Universe Origins Snake Lair playset that they announced during San Diego Comic-Con. So we've talked about this one before. Remember last year at Comic-Con 2024, they showed off a Snake Lair that they were going to offer, and then they held back and redesigned it and came back with it this year, and then it went up on the Mattel Creations website right after Comic-Con on August 1st. And this past week, they did a live stream showing off the features. They gave us some size comparisons of the new play set with previous ones they've done, including the Castle Grayskull and the Snake Mountain play sets, so you can get an idea of the size, which is pretty comparable. This campaign needs a total of 6,000 backers. It's got, as I'm filming this, it's got 17 days to go. It is at 2,921 backers, so it's another campaign that seems to be moving fairly slowly. This has an early bird offer that if it reaches that minimum funding goal by August 14th, Then you get the lower snake body for the Slither figure. You'll get the legs and the upper body, regardless if it hits, you know, the minimum goal. Regardless of when it hits that minimum goal, you'll get that. But if you want the lower snake body for her, Lady Slither, you would need to, this would need to be reaching its minimum funding goal by August 14th. So just a few days away from that. I don't really think it's going to be making that goal. So we'll see if Mattel sticks to their guns and doesn't include it or ends up throwing it in anyway. But again, I don't think this is going to reach its minimum funding goal by the 14th. I could be wrong, and so we'll wait and see. There is one stretch goal with this campaign, and that is for the Priest Pythonus figure. That would be included if the campaign reaches 8,000 backers by the end. But the 6,000 right now is what's in question. You do get also, besides the figure, you get the Chimera two-headed snake horse, which I think is probably the coolest thing about this entire set. I hope if the campaign doesn't actually reach its funding goal that they end up finding a way to release that. But that will be included, assuming it hits the 6,000, no matter what. Originally, that was going to be a stretch goal, I believe, but then they changed their mind and just threw it in. So, you know, it's not a bad looking play set. It's pretty comparable to the Castle Grayskull and the Snake Mountain that had mass retail releases. And I think one of the things that's like maybe leaving a bad taste in people's mouths is that this one is much more expensive than those previous play sets. This is $300. The previous ones, I believe at the most were $100. Like they recently did the reissue of the Castle Grayskull as an Amazon exclusive with the mat. That was $99.99. The big reason for the price difference, I mean, you get the figures and the double-headed horse along with the playset itself, so that adds to the cost. But the other difference is that this is much more limited as a Mattel Creations crowdsource than what a mass retail item would be. So less are going to be produced, which means the cost to produce it goes up. And why they didn't do this as a mass release, best I could tell you, is probably there wasn't enough retail interest in it to do it that way, so they felt like this was the only way they could get this out there. Whether it reaches its funding goal, I don't know. The question I've asked before is, well, the one they showed off last year, I feel like looks much nicer. I'm sure it would have been even more expensive, and so the big question is, should they have gone with the original design, even if it was more expensive? Would that have been more appealing to people? Had, you know, gotten people to be willing to spend the money, or would, you know, basically was this dead in the water either way? I don't know. And I'm not saying it's dead in the water because, again, we've still got over 17 days to go. And, you know, as always, these campaigns do generally get big boosts at the end. But right now, it's very slow going, hasn't reached the halfway point. This needs less backers than the Hasbro ones, which need 8,000 backers. This only needs 6,000, but it's got less time as well. Again, started on August 1st and has 17 days to go. So I really don't know how this one's going to go. We'll keep an eye on it. I'll keep you guys updated. But if you do want to add this one to your collection, I mean, I'd go on and back it now on the off chance that it does get to the minimum goal by the 14th, just so you're assured of getting that extra lower body piece for the Lady Slither. Real quick on the Jada toy front, I just wanted to share these packaging images for the first wave of Scooby-Doo figures. So the first wave of Scooby-Doo figures, which have been available for pre-order, in fact, I believe are going to start shipping soon, include Shaggy, the Creeper, and the Mummy. So again, basically the thing here is just to look at the packaging. There's been a lot of debate on whether Jada Toys should do a mystery machine, which I think basically it boils down to, what are they going to see enough demand with the sale of these figures to warrant doing a large mystery machine vehicle? Jada has not done something like that before. Would it be done as a crowdsourcing item? I don't know. But I think the big, whether they do or not, I think completely hinges on how well these figures sell. And I really don't have enough of a feel. I personally am not that interested in Scooby-Doo figures, so I'm not really interested in serial mascot figures either, but does seem to be a demand for that kind of thing. So I really couldn't say one way or the other of how well these figures are going to sell. But I definitely, whether they do a Mystery Machine vehicle or not, I think will depend on how well the figures do. And again, the first wave, which is available for pre-order now, I believe will start shipping fairly soon. I've seen some retailers start to get these in. So, like I say, we'll see how this line goes. But if you're a big Scooby-Doo fan, these are definitely ones I think you should check out. Storm Collectibles has a new King of Fighters 98 Ultimate Match arena figure that has gone up for pre-order. The Benimaru figure, I think that's how you say his name. I never really got into this game, but this is, again, an arena figure from Storm Collectibles, so it's not as expensive as the regular figures that they do. This one is $29.99. It is available for pre-order now at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. In fact, I think here in the United States, this is essentially a Big Bad Toy Store exclusive. You get 2 head sculpts, 3 pairs of hands. You get his thunder effect. You get the other effect piece as well, and a figure stand. So, not a bad price, $30. Not quite as much in the way of stuff that you get with the regular figures, but those are more expensive. So again, this is part of the arena line and available for pre-order and supposed to be out in early 2026. This past week, Loyal Subjects put up some for pre-order on their own website, those black and gold 40th anniversary M.A.S.K vehicles. So basically they've repainted all of the first wave of M.A.S.K stuff to be in that black and gold. So we saw that with the truck previously, but now they've got all the other vehicles available in that same color scheme. These are being sold exclusively on the Loyal Subjects website. And then for you Jem fans, joining their dolls will be another new Jem. These are about 12-inch size figures. Glitter and Gold Jem will be coming. These all also went up for pre-order on the Loyal Subjects website. And then joining Jem are her hologram band members, Leith, her guitarist, Shauna, and Kimber. So I think there's one more band member, but the drummer, I forget her name, but she did not go up. But you've got the 3 holograms and a new Jem. Again, these are dolls. But if you're into Jem, these might interest you. And as I said, these are available on the Loyal Subjects website for pre-order now. If you've been checking out the new Boss Fight Studio line, Court of the Dead, these are 1/12 scale figures. We've got a second wave that's now available for pre-order. You can get these at places like our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. The second wave consists of 2 figures. We've got the Exalted Reaper General, which is a little more expensive. That one's going to cost you around $60. And then we also have Shard, the Mortal Trespasser figure, which is $44.99. You get multiple head sculpts, multiple hands, weapon accessories. Again, these are 1/12 scale figures, so around 6 inches. And as I said, from Boss Fight Studios, they are available for pre-order now. And speaking of 1/12 scale lines, we've got a new line from a company called Fext Hobby for Acid Rain. Specifically, Acid Rain World Norvark FXH-AR figures 1 through 4. So these are again listed as 1/12 scale, so roughly around 6 inches in height. There are 4 figures you can either buy as a set or individually. These are available for pre-order at our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Individually, these figures are going to cost you about $35. As a set, it's going to be about $140. Again, if you're into Acid Rain, you might want to check these out. And as I said, currently they are available for pre-order at our sponsor, Big Bad Toy Store. Okay, and we're going to finish off with a little bit of Star Trek news from the Nacelle company. They this weekend is the big Las Vegas Star Trek convention. We just had San Diego Comic-Con not too long ago. But we got some more figure reveals for their second wave of Star Trek figures. These stand about 7 inches. Their list is 1/12 scale, but they're more in keeping with a 7-inch figure than a 6-inch figure. And this second wave was announced a while ago. We had seen several figures at San Diego Comic-Con revealed for this wave, and now we've gotten a few additional looks. So at this convention, we got looks at Worf from Star Trek Generations wearing the sailor outfit from the holodeck when Worf gets his promotion. So with Worf, you have the ability, you have alternate upper torso pieces. So you can have him either with his coat on or off. He has his hat, which is removable. You have the handcuffs. He had to walk the plank, so that's included as well. So again, from that holodeck episode, we're also getting Geordie LaForge from or not episode, but from that scene in the Generations movie. And we're also getting Geordie LaForge in the same outfit. He comes with the arch for the holodeck. You also, this wave is going to include, I'd call it, keeping it simple, a battle damaged version of Catherine Janeway from Star Trek Voyager. It's specifically from one of the episodes, but essentially, you know, where she doesn't have her outer tunic on and she's kind of all dirty and stuff. Because she's been through a year of hell, which is what the episode was titled. We've seen previously James T. Kirk from, again, the Generations movie with his horse, you know, when he was in the Void. That's a figure, both the Kirk and the horse are going to be included there. Nog from Deep Space Nine after he joined Starfleet wearing the Starfleet uniform, same uniforms that were used in the later movies. We also, for the first time, are seeing Valeris from the Undiscovered Country, so another Vulcan who ended up being a bad guy. So she's getting a figure. We're getting the Romulan Commander from the original series. That was a great episode, Balance of Terror. Played by the Romulan was played by the same actor who eventually goes on to play Spock's father, but a great episode. And then we got during the panel they showed off Carol Marcus from Star Trek II: The Wrath of Khan. She also, like Worf, has different upper torso pieces, so you can have her with the coat or without the coat. So the other figures that we've not yet seen from this wave include DePaul from the Star Trek Enterprise series, and then the character Bem from the Star Trek animated series. So that one should be interesting to see. All very, you know, pretty obscure characters, which is what they've been doing. We've talked about this before on multiple occasions. At Comic-Con, they announced Waves 3 and 4. Wave 3 is going to be all main characters from the original series. They actually gave us a look at the Uhura figure during San Diego Comic-Con. But, you know, the other waves have definitely been kind of a weird mix and match of Star Trek characters, either main characters wearing obscure outfits or obscure characters in general. So, you know, I've given you my opinion on that before. I think they should definitely be mixing in more mainstream characters.
What you want is irrelevant. What you've chosen is at hand.
Now, Wave 1 has been up for pre-order for a while. You can get it at places like Big Bad Toy Store, Entertainment Earth. Wave 2 has yet to go up for pre-order. And of course, you know, even though they've announced the figures for Wave 3 and 4, obviously those have not gone up for pre-order yet either. But I suspect Wave 2 will be going up for pre-order later this year. Okay, so that's all the news I have for you guys today. I hope you're enjoying these recap videos. If all goes well, I should be doing another live stream this coming Wednesday, and then possibly on Friday as well. I also have some content for you action figure enthusiast channel members planned for this week. It'll only be available if you become an action figure enthusiast channel member. If you're interested in doing that, you can check out the link in the video description below. We're up to about 55 action figure channel enthusiast members, and a big thank you to everybody who, you know, has taken that little extra step to become an actual channel member. So hopefully it'll be a good week. As always, guys, stay safe out there, and until next time, I'll catch you later. Thanks for watching today's video. Now, if you're new to the channel, please think about hitting that subscribe button. Also hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. For all the latest action figure news, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, marvelousnews.com, JediInsider.com, and tformers.com. And remember, action figures are great,